Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Sorry for the delay on getting started. We had a few little technical difficulties I had to take care of, but we are all good now. So, good morning, and thank you for coming to the weekly live for relationship communications. Welcome to this week's weekly live. I'm thrilled that you are here with me. And for those of you that's joining us for the first time, I'm Lisa DeToffel. I'm the founder and operator of Relationship Communications. It's my online community where I work with established and aspiring entrepreneurs. And today I'm going to be your host for Relationship Communications Weekly Live, which is my weekly live stream show that airs every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So I do hope you'll put that on your calendar and make plans to join us every Friday morning. If you are joining us live, I ask that you say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. I would love to say hello to you. And my goal here is to share tactical and practical information to help you get where you want to go faster than you can on your own. I've been an entrepreneur for 6 years. I've made many mistakes, and I'm here to tell you that I have learned, and I can help you move through those same mistakes quickly by sharing what I've learned through my experiences. So again, let me know where you're coming in from if you're joining me here live, and we are streaming in various different places. So if you are joining us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button or ring that bell so that you can be notified every time that we do go live. So today we are going to be talking about creating a lead magnet to grow your business. This can be very beneficial if you do not have a lead magnet currently. I'm going to kind of walk you through that today. So this may be a little bit of a lengthy weekly live because I have a lot of information to share. So before we dive into our topic, I want to introduce myself a little bit and tell you a little bit about my backstory. So when I was a preschool teacher back in 2017 and 25 years prior to that, I had dreamed of working from home. But I had been through 2 messy divorces and been a single mom twice, and it didn't seem possible at that time. I was the breadwinner for my family and for my household, and I was scared to take that chance and go out and do anything on my own. I met my current husband, Jeff, in 2012, and that is when, after we got married and, spent a lot of time together, I started to see the light at the end of the tunnel, that my dream could possibly be a reality and might actually come true. So, however, it was not an easy task at all. So with Jeff's support, I started a training program to learn how to be a virtual assistant in 2018, which also showed me how to start my own business. And by the end of that program, I had a couple of clients and have continued to grow my business. And now the Tiger Eye Solution team, which was created in 2021, every single year. So my life looks a whole lot different now than it did back then. This is my husband, Jeff, our 3 children, Caleb, Matthew, and Alyssa, and our 3 grandchildren, JP, Hattie, and Anakin. So the twins are now 2, and Anakin is almost 10 months old. He'll be 10 months in a couple of days. So they're growing very, very quickly. So let's dive into our topic today. What is a lead magnet? A lead magnet is something you offer your audience in exchange for their email address, okay? So today we're talking about lead magnets, which is also known as freebies, and how you can use them to grow your business, okay? So first, let's talk about what a lead magnet is. Again, a lead magnet is something you offer your audience in exchange for their email address. For an example, you could have email newsletter, a place for them to sign up for your email newsletter on your website. That is a freebie. I have that on my website where they can sign up and they'll be put on my email list to where they will get my email newsletter every time I send it out. I also have a lead generation freebie on my website and a checklist, networking checklist on my website. So I actually have 3 freebies or 3 lead magnets on my website. You don't have to have that many. You can just have one. That's perfectly fine. just having a place for them to sign up for your email newsletter is perfectly fine. So often how this works, there's an opt-in page, a place where people put their email and their name in exchange to get a guide, a checklist, or get on your email list, right? To get your email newsletter. So I would love to hear who has a freebie. If you are joining me live or listening to the replay later, use hashtag replay and then let me know what your freebie is if you do have one. So I didn't have one for a long time because I wasn't really a part of the online world. You know, in the very beginning of my business, my first lead magnet was my newsletter. They could just sign up and get on my email list to get my newsletter every time I sent it out. So it wasn't until I started writing and sending my newsletter out on a regular basis that I had a lead magnet. I didn't have one, period. So let's talk about freebies. Again, put in this chat if you do have a freebie and what that is. Here is the process. You know, if you do have a freebie, share that with us. But we're going to talk about the process of actually putting a lead magnet together, okay? Part of this is going to make you happy, and part of this is going to not make you happy. So I'm pretty certain, but this is how it works. So you create the lead magnet, and you know that could be a guide, a checklist, your newsletter, sign up for your newsletter, etc. Then the next step is you create a standalone opt-in page where people can sign up, and then you create a page that they get after to say thank you. Okay, a thank you page, basically. Then what happens is you create regularly scheduled original content. In other words, if they signed up for your newsletter, you want to make sure you're sending that newsletter out on a regular basis, once a month, twice a month, whatever that looks like for you, with original content in it. Okay, so make sure the content that you're putting in your newsletter is going to be beneficial and valuable to those that are receiving it. Okay, the point isn't just to get the email address. You need to interact with that email address. Okay, and otherwise the whole point will be lost, right? The whole idea is to have a relationship with those people that you get their email, that gets on your email list, okay? So if they do sign up for your newsletter, then you definitely want to be sending something out to them on a regular basis. Let them hear from you on a regular basis, okay? Then what happens is you can share that same information on social media. You can put the word out that, you know, you have in a lot of different ways. That same information, the information you created and put in your newsletter, you can also take that same content, break it down, and turn it into social media posts. Okay. And that also is another way to where you can engage with your audience, because if it's in a social media post and they make a comment, then you definitely want to go back and comment back to them. Or if they ask a question, you definitely want to make sure you answer the question, right? So then you can engage again with your audience. So if you send the lead magnet out via email, you can follow up with them. What did you think about the lead magnet? You know, ask a question. You put them on your email newsletter list, and you know, I want you to be happy and excited about that. Okay, you want to be certain to engage with them. If you post something on social media, you keep an eye on it and you comment and have conversations with the ones that comment on what you are posting. Because that's the whole point, guys, okay? To get their email address, but really it's to have a relationship or start building a relationship with those that are on your email list, okay? So that they know who you are and what you do and what type of value you bring to those that you work with, okay? Then again, create regularly scheduled original content, right? And that's kind of a process, I guess you could say. You could start at the beginning and create the lead magnet. Then you create standalone opt-in page and the thank you page. Then you create regular scheduled original content in the newsletter and send it out on a regular basis. Then you share your opt-in on social media. In other words, the content that's in your newsletter, you want to make social media posts out of it and share it on your social media channels, whichever ones you use. And then you want to engage with your audience, whomever is reading it, whomever is commenting on it or asking questions about it, etc. And then it's kind of like a repeat. Create regular, scheduled, original content, right? Hello, Heather. I'm so glad you could be here with me today. Good morning. This is at the core of making this whole thing work. Think about if you sign up for someone's lead magnet and you get it, then you never hear from them again. Or you hear from them every 4 months. You probably don't even remember who they are by that point, right? So that's why creating content is key, and do it consistently on a regular basis, okay? If you have any questions about this, please put that in the comments as well. Create a lead magnet. Create a way for people to see it and create the content. Post it on social media. Engage with your audience or the people that are responding to it. And then repeat it, okay? You may be wondering, is this going to work? Is it worth my time? Is it valuable? Is it going to be valuable to those that I'm sending it to? And for me, it really is. I'm always looking for reasons that I can stay in touch with someone, providing value to them without begging them for something, begging them for their email address, for instance. So that's the core of what I'm trying to do in order to have a steady stream of clients, is just staying connected to them, to the ones that I know and the ones that are on my email list, okay? So I have found that creating a lead magnet is worth my time beyond being able to give it away. Because what I found is that anytime I write something, anytime I force myself to think about it, it makes me more articulate. It makes me more confident. It helps me to speak about my work because I've already thought about it, right? I've thought about the steps. I've thought about what words to use and how few words to use, or, whichever the case may be. And, how to describe XYZ, whatever it is I'm talking about, right? And that takes practice. So beyond having the lead magnet itself, going through the exercise or the process of thinking about this topic or that topic, whatever it is you want to write about. The content, in other words, it's important. It's very important. It's not only helping those you're sharing it with, your audience or those on your email list, it's also helping you, right? So here's some tips on how to decide what a successful lead magnet for you might be, okay? So first thing you need to know is what your audience wants and what they want from you. So think about that. Think about what your clients or customers ask you, different questions and things maybe that they ask you about your work or, what specifically you do for them. Think about what will help them. You want them to be, blown away by the content that you share, and so that they can believe you're giving, that they wouldn't be able to believe that you're giving it away for free, right? In order for it to work, you really don't want to be stingy with your material. A lot of people are afraid to give away their best stuff because they think, why would anyone come work with me? If I'm telling them how to do it, they're just going to do it themselves. What happens is when someone shows me their expertise, I don't think, most of the time, I just go do this myself. they actually end up selling me on their expertise. And that's what you're trying to do as well. Sell your audience on whatever your expertise is, XYZ, whatever it is you do. And then, if I'm looking for help, I think, oh, great, I trust her and she can do this. So she can do it for me, and I'll let them do it for me. She knows how to do XYZ. She clearly has thought this through and can help me. And so I've always given away tons and tons of information. And I don't believe it's ever stopped someone who's going to work with me from working with me on any level, for that matter. They actually are appreciative of the tips that I share, the information that I share. Yes, is it helpful for them? Absolutely. They may try to do it on their own, and then sometimes they'll realize, I'm not really the expert in this. Lisa is. I need to talk to her. I need to let her and her team take care of this for me, because they're the experts. They know how to do it, and they're going to get it done a whole lot faster than I would. And I've done that myself with my team that I shared, that I built back in 2021. I have a social media specialist on my team. And that's the first thing I handed off myself. When I got a social media person on my team, I said, please take this and do it for me. And it's not that I can't do my social media myself. I can. It's just so time consuming for me. And I know the expert I have on my team can do it a whole lot faster than I can. So why not let them do it? Instead of, my time is better spent doing other things. So instead of sitting here all day, taking a whole day to map out all my social media for 2 weeks or a month or whatever, why not let somebody else do it? That can do it a whole lot quicker than me. Right? That's just an example. There's very different types of tasks that you may want to learn how to do yourself, or that you're better doing within your business. Just depends on what your business is. But then again, there's probably some tasks within your business that may be better if you handed it off to someone that's an expert in that area. Same thing with the lead magnets, okay? When you're creating that content to share, you're the expert in XYZ, whatever it is your business is and whatever it is you do. However, if you're not an expert, or if you don't enjoy writing, then yeah, it might take you a while to write a newsletter, even when you're writing about what you enjoy doing. Okay. So that's just a little food for thought. If you have any questions about anything that I shared today, let's have a conversation. If you don't have a lead magnet, let's have a conversation. And I can kind of give you some tips around how getting that set up as well. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you again soon. Before I go, I'm sorry, I do have something else to share. I want to invite you to the Networking Method Launchpad. It started earlier this week, was part 1. However, it is not too late to sign up. You can still sign up for the Launchpad and get invited to the private Facebook group where the Launchpad is taking place. And you can go back and catch the replay of day 1 and do the homework for day 1. And then part 2, day 2, is going to be on Monday, April 28th. So you don't want to miss that. Hi, Heather. I'd love to talk to you about your lead magnet. So let's set up a time to talk. So I invite you to sign up for the Networking Method Launchpad. Like I said, it's not too late. You can go back and catch the replay of day 1 with all the great information that was shared there, and do the homework, because the homework, guys, is so beneficial. It really, really is. It helps you to move forward with your networking. And then day 2 is going to be next Monday, April 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I will share the link below this video for you to go ahead and sign up for the Networking Method Launchpad. Heather, send me a PM and we can get the time scheduled for us to chat about your lead magnet. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will talk to you again soon.